How's it going, Phone Lab? It's Root Junkie here. In today's video, we're going to be talking once again about an MDM lock device. This device is activating right now on Wi-Fi, and this is going to be able to remove MDM off of the latest iOS version 14.6, at least at the time of recording this video. We're going to show you a very complicated, complex method of doing this, but it's pretty awesome as well. So you're going to learn all about it and how to get this going for you. Very, very cool. So stay tuned. We're going to be doing a lot of things with the computer, a lot of cool commands, and hopefully you'll learn quite a bit from this process. So let's go over to my computer and let's make this happen. MDM removal on iPhone. Alright guys, here we go. Let's go ahead and plug in my iPhone to the computer. Now you're going to notice this is a Linux distro, and you know, it is what it is, but just so you're aware, that's what we have to do most of this on for all these stuff to work. You can do it on Mac as well, but Windows, not so much. Okay, so first thing we got to do is we got to checkra1n this device I just plugged in. So we're going to go ahead and run checkra1n. It does say that this isn't supported, so if you come in here and you hit allow untested versions, now it should let you do it. So let's go through the checkra1n process. Again, warning. But it's not a big deal because we're really just trying to get root access or jailbreak the device, because they're really both the same thing. We're going to go ahead and boot this device into recovery mode and follow the checkra1n process. You can see the version I'm on right here is 12.4, and the device just booted into recovery mode, and then you just got to follow the steps here. So we're going to go ahead and click start. We're going to hold the power and volume down button, and then when it says let go of the volume or the power button, and keep holding volume down until the device enters into DFU mode. We're in DFU mode. We can let go of the phone now and let the jailbreak happen. Now the cool thing about this is that this is very, very simple and really, really easy to do. So if you get any errors in the process, it's really not to worry about, because as long as your phone comes up and shows checkra1n and runs a bunch of code across the screen and then fully boots up, you should have enough access, even if it's not the perfect checkra1n jailbreak, but enough to do what we need to do to bypass the MDM. So really not like a huge issue. So we're just waiting for the device to boot up. Now, if you don't ever get this completing of booting here, sometimes I found this has happened. My phone's booted up. If you just unplug the cable, plug it back in, then what will happen is checkra1n should show that you actually have a full boot, the utility here. But I've also seen where it doesn't, so let's see what happens here. Yeah, it gives me an error. I'm not worried about this because I know everything's fine. So just hit it's done, and you can close out checkra1n, and we should be able to continue on from here. So from here, we need to go ahead and we need to SSH into this now jailbroken device. So to do this, we're going to use iProxy. And I've got the commands to install this on Linux, so it's not a real big deal. So iProxy 222244, hit enter. That's going to go ahead and set up the redirect for the SSH session. So then we're going to open up another window, and we're going to go ahead and go through the SSH setup. So we're going to do SSH root at local host /p 2222. Hit enter. Okay, so now it's asking for the password. This is the iPhone password, so it's alpine, and boom. So we're good. Now you may have some fingerprint security keys you have to just say yes to, things like that, but this is what you should get. If you don't have this bash thing right there, then it's not working right. If it says like iPhone root, that's not going to work right. You need firmware restore the device with 3U tools and come back. But as long as it says bash, you're good to go. Okay, so we now have root access over SSH on this iPhone, and that's what we need to achieve. Okay, so from here we're going to follow some of the commands that are linked below this video. So I'm going to go ahead and open up my document here. And the first thing you got to do is you got to cd to this directory. If I can get it to go. There you go. So we're going to copy that guy, and we're going to come back in here, and we're going to cd in. So paste, enter. Then we're going to ls to list everything in there. And right here you can see the iCloud or the cloud configuration files. We've edited these before. You used to be able to edit them with nano cloud, right? But the problem is that with Nano right now, these files, these plist files are now stored as a binary, and we need them in XML format to edit them. So that's what we're going to show you how to do here, is go ahead and get them into an XML format now that we have an SSH session running on our computer and we're in the phone. So Control X will close Nano, and from here we're going to run some cool commands to pull those files to our device, convert them, edit them, push them back, and make this process happen. It's going to take a little bit, but stick with me and let's go do this. Okay, so from here we got to do our next couple commands, and I'll try to explain these as we go. So this is the command right here. Okay, so I'm going to copy that. And what this does is it SCPs, so it's secure copy paste. It does anything, a file or folder, that's what the R stands for. And then it's going to copy the file we want, and it's going to push them over to our computer. Okay, and it's going to go into home Tom plist. That's where it's going to go. That's where the files are going to go, and once they're there, we can do things with them. Now, the way you know what this means, this part right here in the middle, okay, is what you need this for. Let me explain that. So what you're going to need to do is you need to go into settings on your device, and this should work on Mac or Linux. And once you're in settings, you're going to go to sharing, at least that's where mine is, trigger it on, and then you're going to turn on this right here. And see right here, this is that address right there. Now this says MacBook Pro because I'm dual booting. That's just what I left my device called. But anyway, that's what you got there. Okay, so that's where you get that information, and you may have to make sure this is on for remote login, or else this will not work to copy paste like this. So just FYI. So I'm going to close that down. And then Tom here, this is the user. You could leave it as root, but then you need the root password. It's better to have the user password. So I left it as Tom, so I can just type in my computer password, and boom, I can get in, get the remote access I need to do this. Okay. All right. So we've got the file copied, or the command copied. Let's come in here, hit paste, hit enter. All right. And what should happen is it's going to ask for my password for my computer. So I'm going to put that in. Hit enter. And that one copied, okay? And then we need to come in here and do another one. So that's this guy. So we're going to copy him. We'll paste. Hit enter. Password once again. And boom, it's done, okay? So now those files are on my computer. So if we're going to go look at those, let's go over here to plist. Here's the two files we just copied. Okay, that's where they're at. Now, from here, we got to do some more fun and some cool magic to convert these files. So we're going to need to go back into our terminal, and we actually need to open another new terminal here, and we'll do some things from here. In this terminal, we're going to do an ls so we can see where we're at, and we just got to do cd into plist. So cd plist ls. And there's the two files and the three folders that are in that directory. Okay, so from here we're going to run some more commands. So these ones are going to be for converting. So we're going to copy this guy, copy, paste, hit enter. Then we're going to copy this guy, copy, paste, enter. Okay, so those are done, and then if we ls, you can see now we have these plist S and plist D. That's just what I named them. You can name whatever you want. Okay, but now those files have been converted from a binary to an XML, which means we can work with them. Okay, that's the beauty of it. So now what we're going to do is we're going to come over here to Atom. This is a text editor. It's a pretty good one. You can get it on Mac. You can get it on Linux. No problems. So we're going to close out a bunch of stuff here, and we're going to open up those files. So open, and we're going to go find them. They're in plist, and then we're going to highlight both of them, and we're going to click open. Okay, so now we can come in here and we can edit these files. Okay, so first things first, is mandatory. We need to make sure that that is false. Okay, so it's normally true. I've actually done this already, so that's why it says this. But normally it's true, so we need to change it to false, like it is right here. Okay, and we need to scroll down here. Multi-user doesn't matter. This one. Is MDM removable? It needs to be a 0, which is what it is right now. And then same as over here. Okay, so is mandatory. Change this one. You just go on it, right? You can type whatever you want. False. Boom. Done. Right? Scroll down here. Same thing. Is removable. 0. Right? You can change it to 1. You can change it to 0. Doesn't really matter. Okay? So you do that. Okay? Great. Is supervised. Right? See that key? So we want to change that one to false. Okay? So we've got that one changed as well, right? So supervised, mandatory, multi-user doesn't matter. Yes, right there. So we're good. So we changed all 3 of them. Let's just see, is supervised. We have that one as well. So we'll do false. And boom. Everything should be changed. And we're going to go ahead and hit File, Save All. And then we can go ahead and close these 2 out and even close down Atom. And we have now edited our XMLs, and we're going to put them back to a binary. So that's going to be the next step in this process. All right, so in the little text thing, we should be at this point right here. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to copy this guy and copy. We're going to come up in here, and we're still in this terminal, so we're going to go ahead and hit paste. This is going to convert them back and actually override the files that we pulled initially. So we're going to convert them back. So we're going to hit enter. That one's converted. And then we're going to copy this guy. Copy. And we're going to paste him in. Paste. Enter. And now that one is also edited. We can also ls. And if we want to make sure, or ls minus al. And this will actually show us the time that these files were changed right there. And you can see that that's basically just now. Okay, so those files have just been recreated as binaries, and we can now copy them back to the phone. Pretty awesome, right? Okay, so to do that, we're basically done in this terminal. We're going to go back to this terminal. This is your SSH session, and we're going to copy 2 commands to copy them back from the computer to the phone so that we can override those files. So here you go. This is the command. Copy. All right, and we'll paste it in. Hit enter, and it should require a password. There you go. This is a password for my computer, so put that in, and that worked perfectly. And then we're going to come down here and we're going to copy this guy. Copy, and we'll paste him in. Paste. Password for my computer. And voila, those files are now on the device. We can even ls them. I think we can AL in here too. We should be able to see that they were just changed, although I don't know the time that this phone is on right now. But there you go, right there. 8:42, 8:41, basically just now, different time zone, whatever. They've just been edited, okay? All right, perfect. So we are done on the computer at this point. You know, everything should be good. We're going to go back and look at the phone and just show you that our MDM has now been bypassed. It's really that cool, and it's really that simple. It ain't really simple, actually. It's a little complicated, but it can be done. This plists util that we used to convert from binary to XML and XML to binary, you can see in Windows in my other video about lib mobile device. That utility is there. It can work there as well. But checkra1n doesn't really support Windows, and it just makes it simple to do it in one spot. So after that crazy process on the computer, let's go through this. I did reboot this device, and you may have to reboot, you may not, honestly. If you're still on this screen, you may not have to, or maybe just start over the setup process. Hard to say. But let's go ahead and do it. So let's go in. I am already connected to Wi-Fi because I never did anything different from when we set it up the first time to even check if it was MDM locked. So go ahead and go through it. And here you go. You have the MDM screen. At this point, very simple. Just say skip configuration. Hit next. And you can go through the rest of the setup and get the device fully set up. I'm just going to skip through it just to show you that the MDM lock has been fully removed or bypassed, and you don't have to do anything with it. It's quite awesome, actually. So here we go. And also just to show that it's actually not even in the what do you call it, the settings of the device. So you're not going to see any of that in there. You're not going to see it in general. It's just not there anymore. It's totally gone, totally bypassed, and this is on the latest iOS. So, and what's interesting, this could be because I need to reboot again. It says it's still supervised, which is funny. I think it's just because I need to reboot. So we're gonna come back down here though, because we're gonna go into general, and if you look under here under VPN, there should be device management there. It's not. So there's no profiles installed. There's nothing being managed at that point. This is interesting that this is still here. I think it's probably just because I need a reboot. But just showing you that. And then we'll also just show you about, just to show you we are on 14.6. Let's just see if we can get rid of that is supervised by doing a quick reboot here. I think that honestly that's all it's going to need is a reboot to show you that that's not there anymore, because we said to skip it. So let's just see what happens here. We're going to go power it back on, and hopefully that's all it takes to clear that away, because it could be that that was kind of in cache of the device and that's why it was still there. So let's take a quick look here once we reboot the device. All right, interesting, still there. Huh. I'll have to play with that. It's not installed. It says it's still supervised, but what's funny is I've done it before where it's not there. This time it is there. Hard to say what's going on with that exactly. You might have to re-edit something or try it again, factory reset it, but you definitely don't have any provisioning profiles on here, and it is bypassing. You're in a device. You don't have to log in with any credentials or anything. You are good to go. So there you go, guys. That is the steps. Hope you've enjoyed it. Stay tuned for more things here on the iPhone, and we'll catch you in the next video. Root Junkie out.